Welcome to this week's edition of Data Center News Asia. Rhys, what are we covering today?
This week, we've got a new data center from the Werks Iron Mountain JV. There's a new cloud launch in India, a new edge company in India. NTT have another new data center in Thailand, and there's another cloud player in Korea. This is a domestic cloud player, so lots to talk about, lots of new stuff. I like that.
Yeah, we go in the order that we mentioned them.
Absolutely. We're not doing the usual little back and forth bit. People love that at the start. It's like a favorite part for some people.
Okay, well, let's get into it. Let's just see.
All right. We'll do the news. We'll do the news. All right. Werks Iron Mountain, creatively named BLR1. So this is in Bengaluru. I'm not so familiar with this region of India. What's going on here, Jed?
So this is the launch of the first DC within the campus that they're developing here. So they obviously have a number of different facilities all across India, and I've got a pretty big pipeline of additional projects. But as you mentioned, this is the first one in Bengaluru, or formerly Bangalore. Tier 3 facility. I believe this first phase, or this first data center on this campus, is 4 megawatts. Yeah, another making progress, this partnership. Quite a lot going on.
Yeah, this is my favorite marketing line that I've heard in a data center pitch. The string of digital pearls is their plan across India. They're building in Navi Mumbai, Hyderabad, and Noida as well. So we'll look out for the next pearl.
Yeah, a couple other ones, Hyderabad. Additional facilities in Mumbai. Yeah, so like I said, this has been a really good, strong partnership, and I think both companies have leveraged off each other's strengths very nicely here.
Excellent. Well, good to see India marching on. It was been out of the news for a couple of weeks, but the next news story we've got in India, does this quantify as data center news? OVHcloud have launched a data center, and on the press release, they said it uses the company's proprietary water cooling. But I've been taking a leaf out of your book, and I was looking a bit further, and they didn't name the site or the location. So is this a new data center, or?
Yeah, so OVH are a data center platform in Europe. They've got a pretty big footprint, actually, and they have a cloud offering which sits within their data centers. Their data centers have got unique design. They've got a couple of novel technologies, which I think are proprietary technology, as you mentioned. In APAC, they take colo space, and so they I don't believe, have the same freedom to do what they would do in Europe with the technology, but they do things slightly differently. And I haven't spoken to OVH for a while about it, but I remember them telling me exactly. I don't want to say anything incorrect here, because, like I said, it's been a while since I spoke to them specifically about it. But they have a footprint here in Singapore, quite a well, not quite hyperscale, but they do have a number of megawatts across multiple sites. Likewise down in Sydney as well, they've got again in with colo. When I saw this news, I thought it was old, but then I understand that it was actually a POP they had in place in Mumbai.
Right.
So they've had that for quite a while, because I do remember actually specifically talking to them about that. But I think this is them basically building that out to take. Again, I'm not sure of the size, but I'd say it could be a couple of megawatts actually, and I'm sure they've got their own data halls, etc. Not sure exactly. I have a feeling I know the site, but not 100% sure. But it is a bit different to some of the other kind of, I suppose, cloud offerings out there. I'm not going to speculate anymore. So if anyone from OVH wants to come down and tell us a bit more about why or how their offering is different, then please feel free to do. I tried to use ChatGPT, and it just came back with a lot of kind of generic stuff. So probably best not to mention that. But if anyone from OVH is watching and wants to give their pitch on what is different about their offering, please feel free to in the comments.
Yeah, I wasn't intending to rubbish OVH with my initial comments, because actually it is exciting to have a new cloud player coming in Asia. And yeah, I saw on their site that they have 15 new sites they're building worldwide by 2024. So always good to have a bit more variety in the hyperscale landscape. So wishing those guys some luck. Thinking of good luck, the third story in India. So this is a brand new platform, which I could not find too much about. So the founder is a lady called Priyal Kathari, and she also has a pretty enigmatic background. Could not find anything about that, but there's a press release. It's a new platform. with a stated goal of 70 edge data centers across India. No timelines mentioned, but they're planning to democratize the edge infrastructure. And they're doing that by partnering with local landowners. So it sounds like a laudable goal, but precious few details. So if anyone does have more information on Metaedge or Priya Kothari would like to pop on the show, that would be an interesting one to find out about the Indian edge market.
Yes. We're moving on to Thailand now. NTT announcing their BKK3 facility.
This is next to BKK2 in the same Amata City Industrial Park, is that right?
Yeah, so this is actually, this plot I think has been eyed by a number of different people. Actually, if you look on, too much of a plug, but if you look on the DC Buy platform, you can see the satellite imagery, and it's a nice shaped plot, decent size. So, and as per the NTT press release, it is adjacent to BKK2. So I think it was only a matter of time before someone obviously snapped this up and put a development on it. And I think NTT was always going to be in pole position given the fact that they've got the parcel adjacent to it. They mentioned $90 million US dollars to build this 12 megawatt facility. Seems on the slightly low side, but who knows? A couple other things. Yeah, so coming online H2 2024. PUE of 1.4 was also mentioned as well.
Yeah. Interesting boast that illegal in some countries.
Say again?
Interesting boast that it's illegal in some countries, a PUE of 1.4.
Well, yeah, I guess given the fact it's a slightly smaller facility than some of these hyperscale ones, that
yeah,
and if they actually get to 1.4, that's still pretty good, right? So there's a big difference between operating PUE and what marketing press release says. So
tropical country as well.
Yeah, NTT have ambitions themselves to have net zero emissions by 2030. So yeah, like I said, NTT building a large platform across the region. So this is obviously their third in Thailand. They've got, I think, 3 in Jakarta. I think 3 in Jakarta, and I want to say 6 facilities in KL as well. So, and they do also have facilities in Vietnam. So a larger number of facilities across Southeast Asia.
Are they ahead of, I don't know if you've checked the platform this morning, whether they're ahead of SuperNAP or I guess STT in Thailand now? Because 12 megawatts is quite a big share of the market in Bangkok at the moment.
Well, it depends how you measure it. So like they would be ahead of it, certainly ahead of SuperNAP in terms of live capacity, and with this pipeline capacity as well. And then STT, if you record that side as 40 megawatts, which I think is probably fair now considering they're building the second building. Yeah, they're probably behind STT, but yeah, they're well out of SuperNAP. So they're one of the significant players in Thailand.
Well, let's keep our eyes peeled on Bangkok then. This is up and coming market. Maybe we'll have as many stories about that as the Philippines.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? The last one we had for this week was Samsung in Korea, and this is a interesting story because I couldn't tell. There's 2 parts to this. There's a data center, so they've launched the first high performance computing HPC data center called Dongtan IDC. Did you manage to find that on the platform?
Yes, I did. Yes. So yeah, in the press release, they didn't actually announce the size of the facility, or they didn't announce I think they gave vague ideas of where it actually was, but it's just referring to the platform. It is, yes, Dongtan IDC. It's a Songdong Hwasong Si Yeongdong-do is the address.
I will not try and pronounce that, but I will get the map up.
And yeah, so we've been across this facility. It's all the information's updated relatively. About 6 weeks ago, we've updated all of this. Yeah, so this is going to be 20 megawatt site in total once complete. I think they're building the first phase out, so that's probably what's open now. The first phase, which is 10 megawatts, so 2 10 megawatt phases is our understanding. So yeah, 20 megawatt facility in total.
And the second part of this news story, which again, based on the fact that they specified this data centers for big data and AI, probably not related, but Samsung, their cloud business unit is now open to all of their customers. As I understand it was previously like for Samsung devices or Samsung internal usage. And so Samsung would be, with this, entering the cloud market, which as I understand it, could not find accurate numbers for anything beyond about 2020 in Korea, but it seems that AWS is still the dominant market player by a huge margin. And the biggest local player, I think,
not DC-wide stats, by the way.
No, the cloud market is different, but this is, I think, Naver are the biggest domestic player, just ahead of Google, at the last I could find. Again, correct me if that's changed in Korea, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Samsung can do. They already have, again, on the platform, quite a significant infrastructure presence in the country, so it'd be interesting to see what their cloud platform is made of.
Yeah, one to keep an eye on. Like, they do obviously have quite a lot of different infrastructure, different DCs around there. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if this works, if it takes off, and then if may look to export into other markets. No reason why not, right?
Absolutely. Got any travel coming up? Any plugs? Done the news?
Well, actually, this will be the last week from this office, because next week I'm in Hong Kong.
Some kind of rugby event?
That's purely coincidental that the Hong Kong Sevens is on, which I will be going to with our mutual friend, Mr. Kevin. But yeah, last time we'll be in this office, we are taking bigger space. Excellent.
So different background. I assume there'll be professional lighting. I'm looking forward to the sound equipment you said was coming in.
Yeah, well, dedicated studio, of course, virtual reality room.
Fantastic. Tours are available at the link in the comments.
Yes. What about you? You're in next week?
Yeah, I will be around. I've kind of traveled myself out in Q1, so I don't think I'm going away anywhere. Might be going to the Hong Kong Cloud event at the end of April, but yes, I will be grounded and available. Exciting times for me.
Yeah, well, I'm only really there for Thursday, and it's pretty chocked. But if I've got a slot at about 5 o'clock, if anyone wants a beer or something like that.
Excellent. Well, a beer plug there.
Yeah, beer plug. I'm not having a coffee at 5 o'clock in Hong Kong. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, on that note, I'll enjoy the sevens, and everyone else, happy Friday.
Yeah, have a good weekend, everyone.